What's up and welcome back. I'm Steph SABRAW, joined by the one and only Andrew the Flash Gordon.
What's up?
And today we're going to be watching STREE trailer, which we know it came out a few years ago. We're late to the party. Jaby's seen it, but we haven't. And we want to watch this trailer with y'all and get a little taste for it. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, turn those babies on, and hit that like button so YouTube knows that you like what you're watching here today. And we're going to get right into this trailer. Messing with us today.
स्त्री के बारे में क्या पता है आपको?
कई साल पहले शहर में एक सुंदर आकर्षक वेश्या हुआ करती थी। शहर का हर पुरुष उसके सपने देखा करता। आखिर उसको एक ऐसा मर्द मिला जो उसके शरीर से नहीं उसकी आत्मा से प्यार करता था। सच्चा प्यार। भाई तुम्हारी जनरेशन का प्यार है। फर्स्ट टाइम देखा तुझे लव हो गया, सेकंड टाइम में सब हो गया। कहाँ जा रही है हमारी युवा पीढ़ी?
नहीं, हम तो सब बनाते हैं। कंप्लीट लेडीज फैशन, घाघरा, लहंगा, चूड़ीदार, पटियाला, अनारकली, मॉडल सलवार, पाकिस्तान सलवार, लॉन्ग कुर्ती, शॉर्ट कुर्ती, गरारा, शरारा, मिरर वर्क, स्टोन वर्क, डिजाइनर पेंटी, नाइटी फाल।
तेरे बारे में तो सबसे सुना है, सबको पता है कि तू अप्सरा है।
मैं तो यहाँ नहीं रहती, लेकिन पूजा के टाइम हर साल आ जाती हूँ।
इतना पता है कि कोई गुफा है, लेकिन गुफा
जी हमारा हाथ पकड़ा और बोली विक्की प्लीज।
क्या तुम्हारा हाथ बोली विक्की प्लीज?
विक्की
वही तो कह रहे हैं विक्की प्लीज।
तुम्हारे अंदर ना प्रेम भाव ही नहीं है। हाथ लो। विक्की प्लीज।
तुम्हें बोलने में प्रॉब्लम होती है क्या?
नहीं क्यों? मोर हमारा राष्ट्रीय पक्षी है। मोर की चोट लंबी और पेनी होती है। मोर की ऊंचाई लगभग 1.5 फुट होती है। मोर जब सावन के मौसम में झूम उठता है तो लोग उसको देख के मंत्रमुग्ध हो जाते हैं, जैसे हम आपको देख के मंत्रमुग्ध हो।
तुम्हारी गर्लफ्रेंड भूती है साले।
क्या बकवास कर रहे हैं?
क्यों हर साल तुम्हारी साली एक गर्लफ्रेंड पूजा के टाइम ही आती है और बाद गायब हो जाती है?
अगले 4 रात वो शिकार पे आने वाली है।
कौन?
स्त्री पुरुषों को उठाती है और सिर्फ वस्त्र छोड़ती है। वो पहले तुम्हें तुम्हारे नाम से पुकारेगी। तुम्हें क्या करना है? फौरन चप्पल निकालो, हाथ में लो और भागो।
उसको सबका नाम कैसे पता चल जाता है?
सबका आधार लिंक है उसके पास। कुछ भी हो जाए पलटना मत।
देखना आज तो साले के कपड़े ही मिलेंगे।
खुलता कैसे?
आंखों में देखो, आंखों में प्यार की भूखी है वो। प्यार से देखो। प्यार और प्यार से देखो। अरे हमारी गांड पटी हुई है, कहां से लाएंगे प्यार?
What? It's so funny because first I heard some horror music and I was like, I thought this was a comedy, and then I feel like it's both, right? It's like a horror comedy.
Yeah, no, the tone was throwing me off a little. It's like, okay, we're getting a little horror, and then we started getting comments like, oh no, it's a comedic love story, and then it's like, oh whoa, no, it's more horror. And like, I'm very curious on how they do balance that throughout the film, because that's not usually a genre I watch very often, is horror comedy. Just from that perspective, I'm intrigued, but I really liked so far in the trailer. Yes, I know she's a ghost, but just seeing the interactions of her and the main character, like I really liked the chemistry between those two actors, and just seeing their interactions, I thought they were so cute together. And then seeing that she's a ghost and all she wants is love, and then, you know, seeing how she's haunting them afterwards, like, again, it's cute and it's scary at the same time.
Yeah, it looks frightening. I love a good siren story, you know, like bringing the boys to the yard, especially if they're misbehaving. But it feels like some of this has to be like with innocence, and I always feel bad about that. But I feel like there's more to the story, because clearly it's a folklore, or it's like some sort of story that they're telling. And I'm like, how much agency does this woman have over what's happening? Like, does she have to feed? Who does she feed on? Like, how does it actually work?
It kind of also reminded me a little, I don't know if any of you saw, but there was a horror film in 2003 that came out, Darkness Falls. I don't know if you ever saw that, but basically there was was a ghost in the town. She was the tooth fairy. If you looked at her when she came to collect the last tooth, she would haunt you for the rest of your life. Whenever you're in the dark. It wasn't a great movie, but the story actually is like, it's an intriguing like story. It just wasn't executed, in my opinion, very well. But I was getting a little bit of a vibe from that film. I don't know. Want to copy that film. I'm just very curious how they're gonna balance out the tones of the horror and the comedy, because there were a couple moments where I was really laughing. Like, I love the camaraderie that we get between the friends and those interactions. It seemed really funny. And even, again, the fast-wit lines that we get from the main character when he's talking to the girl, when she's like, don't you say anything? And then he starts talking about, like, the national bird.
About peacocks. Which
sorry.
So reminded me of what I do sometimes. Like, I went on this one date and I did it for different reasons. It was a date that had gone really bad, and I was like, I don't even want him to know anything about me. So I started giving like facts about like the hawks and like animals that I saw. So I feel like I get that nervousness from a different place, but it was funny to see it in that, because he was obviously nervous because he liked her, and he was like, oh, let me just go here.
Something
and you're beautiful.
You could relate to. Yeah. Now I'm gonna start talking about peacocks and hawks on my next date. So
yeah, he called peacocks are beautiful, and he was like, you're beautiful like the peacock.
Oh, it's good. I thought it was a smooth line. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's gonna happen and like what the overall tone of that movie is gonna be. If it's gonna be more horror, if it's gonna be more comedy, and like if the ending is tragic, or if it's more of this kind of funny, more spoof horror type.
It's being a little thrown from the tone of the trailer, so I'm really curious what they're gonna do in the film. But it definitely looks like something I'd want to see, because I gravitate towards these type of films as well. So it looked really cool. I want to see it.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I haven't seen an Indian film that blends those two types. I can't even recall an American film that I've seen that's not a spoof on horror. Like, I'm thinking of like Scary Movie type that is horror and comedy. But I'm not so well versed in the genre. But I love a good mixture of genres. When it's done right, it's really cool to see that. Like, lately I've been loving dramedies, like drama and comedy. So I'm sure that just right there is the brother, which would be horror.
Yeah, I think for me, as long as you can, I don't mind using multiple genres in a film, as long as it's balanced properly, and the characters are intriguing, and I can get behind them, then I don't mind different genres being mixed together, as long as there's balance. If it feels like one is overshadowing the other, it throws me a little bit off of the loop. I mean, as long as the characters are, again, interesting and I can get behind them, I guess it's fine. But again, I'm really curious how they're going to balance that out with this film, because again, the tone was throwing me off a little. I was like, oh, definitely going to be all right, whoa, going a little bit more on the scarier side here. It's definitely intriguing. I feel it's very ambitious to go for those two genres. Yeah. That's not really two genres you usually see mixed together. So just from that perspective alone, and the character interactions I watched on here, I would definitely want to see this film.
Definitely. And the good news is I love you all for your soul, not your body and your face. But if you liked what you saw here today, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications, and hit that like button so YouTube knows that you liked what you watched. I'm Steph SABRAW. This is
Andrew Flash Gordon.
We'll see you later. Much love.